Hi guys, Barbara here from BarbaraMakesCrafts.com, and I just want to welcome you to my channel. Well, can you believe that we have Christmas coming just around the corner? And it comes so fast every year. Every year it comes faster and faster. And one of the things, in fact, one of the best selling gifts on Etsy is the little ceramic ornaments. And I just love them. I love the way they look. I love the way they feel. They're my second favorite next to those cute little glass ornaments, if you know what I'm talking about. Not the balls, but the ones that are, you know, Santa Claus. So today I'm going to be making some of these fun ornaments using sublimation. We're going to see what works to make the best ornaments ever, and we are also going to see what does not work. But we learn from our mistakes, right? So let's head over to Design Space and go ahead and get started. Okay, so I've opened a blank canvas and we just need to upload our designs. And I did get these designs from designbundles.net. So, and I have already uploaded them. And if you maybe don't know how to upload files from your computer, just hit this upload image and it will direct you to either drag and drop or browse, and then you can browse your files. All right, so I'm going into cut files. Let's do the P. All right, so we'll upload the PNG. I always choose complex when I'm uploading a PNG because that will give you the most detail and the best quality. We don't need to do anything to it here. All right, and you can see when it comes up, there's a cut image, which is all black, and a print and cut image. So we want the print and cut image. Okay, so you can see they come in huge. So I'm just going to size it down until it's a workable size. Bring in a shape. We're going to bring in a circle, actually. And right up here, we are going to turn that circle white. And we are going to make this circle 2.75 inches around, because that is the size of our ornaments. I want to put my grandson's name in here. Let's see how this one looks. Yeah, that looks kind of fun. Put it in there. Now that is going to be gray, and I don't really want gray. And so we want to center it. Now go up here and center. I forgot to group. Flatten. And that'll do the trick. Okay, so I want to size this down so it fits within my circle. And we want the word going straight across so the truck will be tilted. I want to take this circle and I'm going to duplicate it 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. And the reason for that is we've got another ornament to make, and then we've got the back of the ornaments. So this ornament needs to come to the front. So we'll just click arrange and bring it to the front. And then it is a little bigger than our circle, so we need to make it a little smaller. I'm going to unflatten this for just a second because I want to find out what font that is. Right there. Signature script. Okay, so I'm going to take the entire circle and design. I'm going to select it and then flatten it all together. So it will be a print and cut image, and that one's ready to go. And now I want to add my other grandson's name. We call him JJ. Such a sweet little boy. You know what? I think I'm just going to put it on the back. So I'm going to take this right here and I'm going to flatten that together. And the fronts of our ornaments are ready to go. So now we just need to do the backs. And I'm actually gonna, I think, do JJ instead of Joshua here. Look for a better font. Let's see. And I've noticed a new feature that Cricut has added. When you bookmark, they've added like a bookmarks. So you can just click on that and see everything that you bookmarked instead of having to go through all these hundreds of fonts. The two that you've seen me bookmark are the only ones that I've bookmarked today. So I guess that could be cute. And I want this to be centered. See if we can center. All right, so the next thing we'll do is just flatten both of these for our print and cut image. And then we're going to select Make It. And you can see here that it's all on one mat, and it's showing you that it's going to cut each one individually by this box right here being around just one of the elements. If it was going to cut them all like in a square or whatever, then that black box would not be there. You have to mirror it since it's sublimation. Always mirror sublimation and iron off. I'm glad I thought about that. So now we can see where everything is, and we're just going to hit continue. And it's going to want to send it to the printer. So that is what we'll do. And I will grab this from the printer and I will be right back. All right, so for this project, we're going to need cardstock. I'm using about 3 sheets of cardstock, and it needs to be white so that it doesn't mess up your design. We're going to need a heating pad. I'm using the Cricut heating pad, but if you don't have a heating pad or you have a different heating pad, well, especially if you don't have a heating pad, you can just fold up a towel and put there and it will do just as good. You're going to need your heat press, obviously. Any heat press that you have will do. It doesn't have to be Cricut's. It can be, you know, a clamshell press or some other brand of heat press, easy press like this. I just would not use a household iron because those do not maintain a constant temperature, and it's almost nearly impossible to get all the water out of that steam well, and water definitely will affect this project. You're going to need a ceramic ornament. I got these on Amazon. I'm actually going to use 2. We're going to make 2 different ornaments. They do need to say that they are for sublimation. If they don't say they're for sublimation, they will not turn out right. Your colors won't be as vivid, and it just will not look as good. It will not look nice and professional. You will need some sublimation paper, and I'm just using the A-Sub, which is kind of what, you know, most people are using these days. It's very popular, let me say that. It's a very good quality paper. And again, I got this on Amazon. You will need your Cricut. You're gonna need some kind of scraper tool to burnish your paper down on the mat. I'm using this one from 143vinyl.com. And the last time I looked, these were $2. So they're very affordable, but again, if you don't have one, then you can use an old credit card, gift card, anything like that that you can use, a pan scraper from the dollar store, anything like that that you can use to make sure it gets down good on your mat. You can also use a brayer tool. Again, this one is Cricut's. You don't have to use Cricut brand. There are plenty of other good products out there, but also, if you use the scraper tool, you really won't need the brayer, and vice versa. So it's really kind of one or the other, just kind of your preference. You are going to need a 12 by 12 standard grip cutting mat, unless you're making bulk and your printer will print. Mine will not print any other size besides the 8.5 by 11, but they make it up to 13 by 19, I think. So for that, you would need the 24-inch, but we'll be using the 12 by 12 today. You're going to need some heat-resistant tape. This is Cricut's. They have a lot of good brands out there. Look at my cute tape dispenser. Other brands won't fit in it, so that's why I use Cricut's. And you will need alcohol to clean your ornaments off before you add the sublimation paper to it, just to make sure all the fingerprints and dust, debris, whatever are off of your ornament. And last but certainly not least, you are going to need a sublimation printer. And this needs to be a dedicated sublimation printer that has the ink well so you can refill it. I use the Epson Eco Tank. I think the model number, you've heard me say several times, I think, that is 2760. It does a great job. It's the low end, the series. It's just the cheapest one that I could find. So it only does the 8.5 by 11 paper, which is fine. I don't make anything that big out of sublimation. And maybe one day I will get one that does bigger paper so that I could do, like I need to do 27 ornaments for a customer before Christmas, and on a bigger sheet of paper I could knock them out just like that, but that's neither here nor there. And that sublimation printer needs to be dedicated to sublimation. In other words, you don't want to put the ink in it that comes with the printer, because that's regular ink, it's not sublimation ink. And if you put that ink in first, let's say you have an Epson Eco Tank, just maybe for school or work or whatever, and you've used it, for a while, and maybe you're just starting in sublimation, you cannot just take that ink out and add the sublimation ink. You'll have to do some cleaning of the print heads and all the things that ink wells, everything, because the two inks do not mix. So for me, well, I didn't have an inkwell printer before. I just have an inkjet printer with the cartridges. But so for me, obviously, it was easier just to buy a printer and start from the get-go and put the ink in it. But again, it's up to your budget and what you are going to be making with your sublimation printer. And I think that is all that we're going to need for this one. So we're going to head over to Design Space and we will start our designing. And you can see the blinking light here means that this is ready to load the mat. And all I need to do is get the paper on here, make sure that it is burnished down really well, and then we can load the materials. All right. So it wants to check and make sure we have enough material loaded in, and that happens, it will begin preparing for the cut. All the cuts, I'm just going to prepare the ornaments. I'm going to just lay them on both sides real quick. with alcohol. So I want to be sure and cover my heat pad with cardstock because I don't want there to be any blowout on my heating pad. And I have to get a new one. And we're going to start with the front side. It starts beeping like that. That means we've let it sit too long and it wants to turn off. So all I had to do was hit the power button and it's going to go for another, I don't know how long it is, 5 or 10 minutes. All right, so you want to be careful with infusible ink just because the oils from your hands will transfer. I just want to make sure that I've got this in the right place. And I'm going to tape it really well with my heat resistant tape. The thing about this is if I mess up, then I can't go back and redo it. So I want to make sure that the design is right side up with the hole in the ornament. If it were coastered or something like that, where it didn't matter, it would be a different story. Now on this one, I'm trying to get the name to line up to be straight with the hole because the tractor is kind of up on its back wheels and sits in an angle, so we'll just take that one down really well. All right, so we've got that like that, and I want to put another piece of cardstock over the ornaments to protect the heat press from any blowout. Okay, so the heat press has been ready for quite some time. So I'm going to set it right there and set the timer, like I said, is on 240 seconds. So we're going to let that heat those coasters and I'll be back to do the reveal and to do the back. All right, so it has beeped. I'm ready to go. And oh, that looks horrible. I hope it didn't scorch my ornaments. They are hot. So I'm going to let those cool for a few minutes.
A few moments later.
All right, so these have cooled down now, and it is time to see how they did on the back. The front we know is not good, and I'll be either donating these or throwing them away. But let's see how the back turned out. So that's better, a little bit. Well, actually, it's a good bit better. It's what we wanted it to look like. So let's see if this one did the same thing. So that one turned out really good too on that side. So I'm gonna go back and do these on the front again, a little cooler and less time, and see if that helps those. But you can see how these are, especially this one with the write on it, how it's scorched, and it's even scorched on the back, and there are some burn spots from just doing it too hot. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and redo the first chance I get, and I'm gonna show y'all the results of that. All right, so I did go back and redo these ornaments at a lower temperature for less time. So I did them at 375 and for 2 minutes. And you can see how much brighter and better the colors came out. It looks, you know, especially this one looks just like the colors on the design file that I used as compared to the ones I did on camera, that neither of them turned out looking good and they were scorched and all that. Now, I also went back and put the number, well, the year on the back of that one and the name and year on the back of that one to show you. I tried to put the design of the ornament on the front and the name on the back and try to heat them both at the same time, thinking that since the heat transfers through the ceramic, then we could just do it all at one time, but it didn't work for the bottom. So I had to go back and do the bottom a second time, and it turned out great. So remember, $3.75 for 2 minutes for the best outcome for your ornaments. Well, I sure learned a little something from that. Getting the heat and the time settings right is key to making these ornaments turn out perfectly. I just love the way these turned out, and I can't wait to give them to my grandkids. So if you liked this video, go ahead and shoot me an emoji in the comment section below, and go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any craft videos that I put out. And if you have questions, concerns, or you want to post pictures of your crafts, guys, I love to see those. You want to join my Facebook group, I'll link to it down below. So if you make these ornaments or any of the other crafts, post a picture in the group, and others might just get some inspiration from seeing what you have done. And so until next time, happy crafting.